Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video for Iron Man Lifestyle. Actually, this session of videos we're going to be talking about your high worth. So we're going to call it the high worth cycle. And in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how childhood trauma actually occurs and how it affects us and why it becomes one of the most important things for us to understand and to learn. With that being said, let's begin. Welcome back guys. As I told you that the past couple of years, if you've been watching my content, if you've been following me on Instagram, I've gotten really close to learning about childhood trauma, learning about stuff how we get affected with. So when we're in dating or when we're living life, the thing is that we face a lot of problems. Let's list out some. So be it commitment issues or social anxiety, lack of confidence, low self-worth, be it not feeling like we deserve good things in life, be it having feelings of loneliness, not being able to form deeper connections with people, all that stuff. So mostly the stuff that we've spoken about till now on the channel has always been about this is what you're supposed to do, that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to say this, you're supposed to go ahead and do this, but we've never really reached the core of it. And in my journey as well, the past 9 years, the first 5-6 years when I was coaching, I came to a point where I wanted to learn more about stuff and I wanted to get into deeper transformations for myself and for other people as well, which is why I got to a point of understanding that childhood experiences form the basis of our social life, our relationships, our success, and everything that is there in our life. Even why we addicted to smoking, why we addicted to drugs, why we only want to have sex, why we don't want to have sex, why we love hanging out with friends, why we don't love hanging out with friends, why we're introverted, why we're extroverted, our persona, our habits, our beliefs, everything comes from our childhood experiences. And this has been scientifically proven. This is developmental psychology that we're going to be talking about and combining it with spirituality. In this video, I wanted to tell you guys about childhood trauma, how basically that occurs and why this becomes very important for us. So this is going to form the basis of all the other videos coming in after this, and this is going to be a basic series of stuff that we're going to be discussing. So let's go back to the time when a newborn baby is born. So when a baby is born, he has no idea about the amount of money he has, the height he is of, the weight he is, the skin color. He has no idea that when he grows up that he's not going to be enough. He has no idea that when he grows up and if his parents don't have enough money, he does not believe that my parents are going to be lesser than anything else. His ideas about money, his own sense of self, his ideas about that if I'm a dark-skinned person, I'm not going to be accepted, or if I'm a white-skinned person, I'm going to be better. His ideas about sexuality, ideas about shame around his own body parts, that my penis is chichi, it's not nice. That's what happens in the Indian culture, at least. We're not accepting of our own body parts. So he has no idea if he deserves his mother's love. He has no idea if he deserves or doesn't deserve the good things in life, or if he deserves his friends, or if he deserves that cute girl that she's going to reject him or not going to reject him. He has no idea about that when he's born. And at that time when we're born, we're like completely pure in the sense that we have no ideas about anything. We're completely playful. Our emotions flow. The only thing child does is either cries or laughs or poops or pees and excretes everything. He has those mechanisms to eat his food or like suck so that he can get his food for himself. So when we're growing up, we're very basic creatures, all right? So during our growing up years, things happen and a brain gets formed, which is why our sense of self gets formed and a map around this world, it gets formed in a sense that the messages that we've received from our parents, our environment, the situation that was when we were growing up. If it was a chaotic environment, we learn that the world is an unsafe place. If it's a safe environment, we learn that the world is safe. If our needs are met, our needs to be fed, to be clothed, to be cleaned, if our needs are met, we feel that our needs are going to be met here and we develop trust. If an infant's needs are not met, then we start to develop trust issues that I cannot rely on my parents, this world is an unsafe place. At the same time, I want you to understand the brain, how our brain forms, like neuropsychology or neurology, whatever you call it. So when we're born, the only parts of our brain that are online are our survival parts and the parts which, as I mentioned, crying, laughing, sucking, pooping, and peeing. That's it. And as we grow up, let's say around the age of 3, is when our sense of memory gets formed, is when our language gets formed, our motor coordination gets formed. We start to walk, we start to touch things. People start telling us that no, don't go there, it's going to be dangerous. No, don't talk to strangers, it's dangerous. So at that developmental stage, when a brain is forming and we're forming maps of the world, these maps become concrete because our survival depends on our parents at that time. And no child is ever going to believe that my parents are a liar. So whatever our parents tell us, that becomes our truth, our reality. So if our parents tell us that the world is an unsafe place, you should not talk to strangers, we grow up and we feel that anxiety that we're not supposed to talk to strangers because we've made a mistake. If a parent tells us that, no, you're a bad person because you make that mistake, we take that to heart. Children in and of itself are very narcissistic in the sense that they feel the world revolves around them. And that's good to an extent. But the problem happens that whenever any messages are being given to a child, he takes them to heart and he believes for it to be the truth. Also, our survival, as I just mentioned, literally depends on our parents. So we'll do anything and everything to please our parents, and which is why the things of like, you know, being a rebel or being a people pleaser, we start to learn those mechanisms, we start to learn those behaviors of manipulation from that age. And as and when we grow, different parts of our brain start to come online. Our sense of self is formed that this is who I am in relation to the world, and I don't have enough money, so that means I'm not good enough. I have enough money, that means I'm good enough. And that's what we're told. At the same time, our sense of self-worth is tied to how much marks we get, how much money we earn, how do we perform in our school. So the love and everything that we receive becomes very conditional. So our self-worth becomes conditional as well. So I'm going into a lot of topics out here just to give you an overarching idea. So when we're growing up, we've got certain needs, as I said. If those needs are met, we go through that developmental stage with amazing development. If those needs are not met, if we're hit, if we're beaten up, if we're abandoned, we're neglected, we witness domestic abuse happening with our mother, we witness our parents fighting, that makes us feel unsafe, and that makes us feel like my needs are not going to be met. So we put certain defense mechanisms in place. And when we grow up, it becomes so difficult for us to talk to that girl. It becomes so difficult for us to be social with other people. It becomes so difficult for us to even commit to certain people. It becomes so difficult for us to feel worthy. So the issues that we have, the self-sabotage that we feel, sometimes the chronic procrastination that we feel, all of these issues rise from the childhood. And it becomes very important for us to understand where and why these problems come from. And in my journey, when I went through this personal developmental journey, by the end of it, I realized that this is one part that no one talks about. The only thing people talk about is try harder, have more discipline. But then every time our sense of self is formed that I am not good enough. So anytime I try to do something, I'm going to self-sabotage and get back to that identity of I am not good enough. So as soon as we try to reach success, as soon as we try to be disciplined, we can't. Every time we've tried to not procrastinate, everyone wants to be in discipline, everyone knows what's there to do, but still there's something that stops us inside. And these form our core subconscious anchors. Letting go of these core subconscious anchors becomes the most important thing, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the upcoming videos, of letting go of these core subconscious anchors, going deep down back into our childhood experiences, bringing that stuff up, the pain that we've stored inside, the behaviors that, you know, men are not supposed to cry. Anytime we try to cry, the people around us told us that you're a grown up now, men don't cry, you're not supposed to cry. Because of that, we start blocking our emotions. Because we start blocking our negative emotions or unpleasant emotions and not feeling them, it's difficult for us to feel the positive emotions as well. And if there's a lot of trauma, a lot of pain that we went through while growing up, if you had a traumatic childhood where, as I mentioned, a couple of things, abandonment, neglect, physical abuse, sexual abuse, you've seen your parents fighting, your father treating your mother violently, or any member of the family dying, or any member of the family going to jail, or any member of the family being addicted to drugs, it has dire consequences on us. And there's fear, we get survival mechanisms, we get a lot of all these issues that we face now. And no wonder when we go out, we've got social anxiety, we feel we're not good enough, we feel we don't deserve the good things in life. And we have to fight all along that. Even forming addictions like drugs, sex, TV, smoking, alcohol, even getting addicted to food, which is a comfort food, also resulting in a lot of depression and anxiety and a lot of things. So we'll be getting into those things. I just wanted to give you an overarching idea why this is important and what is it that we're going to be talking about. So I hope you guys get that, and if there's anything that struck out to you in this video that you thought that this was important, that you want to know more of, just comment in this comment section and I'm going to take up those topics as well. Also, I'm going to go step by step and discuss each and everything that I spoke about in this video, break it down in excruciating detail and help you guys out with that stuff. Because going ahead from here, I've said this number of times, but the main thing was that, you know, the stuff which is out there in the self-help industry always goes on the surface, doesn't go deep down. That what is the core reason why we don't feel good enough? What is the core reason that we have that social anxiety in the first place? Of course, we can go out there and we can progressively desensitize. We can get out of our comfort zone. But still, there's a lot of it which becomes very difficult for us. Like, you know, you might be noticing that when you go out, your hands start to sweat. Why does that happen? By something very normal. So the answers lie in our childhood and our childhood experiences, and we're going to talk more about it. So this is Kshitij. That's going to be all from my side, guys. Only an introductory video. I hope you guys liked it. Comment below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. I'll see you guys soon. Peace, boys.